Good morning, and welcome to Coffee and Create. We're here at Two Girls Treasure. I am your hostess, Diane Pruitt. Let me get this camera set up. There we go. Good morning. I hope everyone's doing superb this morning. I hope you've had your coffee. I was actually getting ready to reach for mine and I realized I'm over here piddling with paint and you're waiting for me. At least I hope you're waiting for me. But I am piddling with paint. I have been doing a lot of different projects. The Cloverfield chair went out the other day. The Cloverfield desk goes out today. That's going to be marvelous. We do a lot of custom work here, and that has been a really super fun project. I've got another one for you today. This is really super fun, isn't it? Everybody loves a plain old black file cabinet, don't you? I've got something fabulous to do with this. We're going to start with our black file cabinet. We're going to make it fantastic. Wait till you see this makeover. Painting it is just the start of what we're doing. Wait till you see the rest of the story. I'm going to run through I think I can do this just like this. Let's run through our products really quickly so that you know what we're going to be working with all month long. Now, I know we're still in May, but we're this close to June. So we are kicking off our June Coffee and Create collection. And if you're not familiar, look at that. See You by the Sea. All summer long. And I know it's not May. I know it's not June, and I know it's not summer, but we're getting really close, y'all. And we need to get prepared. We need to get ready for it. So, See You by the Sea, our Coffee and Create collection starts with, of course, our Wooster 2-inch. And if I go this way, I'm going to be out, so I've got to go this way. Our Wooster 2-inch paintbrush. My favorite brush of all time. I use these for everything. You can tell this one's well used, and you can tell this one's well used. I love these because the handle is rubber and it does not put so much pressure on my hand. I'm not painting and bending this. That's not what this is about. It's about the amount of pressure it puts, whether you have it in your hand and it's on the palm of your hand, or whether you have it in between your forefinger and your thumb. It's just simply less pressure and it feels really nice. So if you have carpal tunnel, if you have some degree of arthritis, these brushes have a tendency not to hurt your hands like other paintbrushes do. We're also going to dive into our classic resins, our metals. We're going to kick off with classic gold. We're also going to be using oyster because by the sea, we need oyster in our life. And I'm sorry I'm reaching, I've got to roll this up. Our miracle brush, because if you don't have one of these miracle brushes in your toolkit by now, you've heard me say it 110,050 times, you need this in your toolkit. This is perfect when you're doing architecture, when you have small grooves, when you have to get in tight places and you don't want to run or drip your paint. You need a miracle brush in your life. Thin mounts, there we go. Thin mounts are simply sheets of acetate. They have grid lines on them, arch lines on them. You need those when you're working with your stamps, and we will be working with stamps this month. An art brayer is what you use when you are braying on your ink or braying on your paint over the top of your stamp. You can get an ink pad and you can pad it. If that's your preferred method, that is perfectly acceptable, but you can't put paint on an ink pad. And I have a tendency to stamp a lot with ink. with paint. So I need that brayer so I can roll the paint over the top of the stamp on the relief, and that way I get a good clean load on the stamp, so when I stamp, I get a beautiful image. Today's featured color, Seaside. I'll see you by the sea. We're gonna use the Rethunk Junk Seaside. Can you just now picture how much more beautiful this industrial looking black file cabinet is gonna be? It will still be a file cabinet no matter what we do to it, but it doesn't have to be ugly. Resin Metals Pearl, we're gonna use that this month. Salt wash mixing cups and salt wash. If you have not played with this product, come see me. I want to teach you how. Watch our tutorials. Come take our classes. Salt wash is amazing. Resin Metals Silver, pewter. Don't forget that countertop and backsplash kit. We have our work table, which has been completely cured at this point. We should be our full 30 days in. We're getting ready to stress test that countertop paint. We've been using the weekly cleaner on it. We've been using the daily cleaner, but not so daily because I forget. But we have the countertop and backsplash kits available here. If you're not sure how to use them, if you're afraid to use them, come see me. Watch our tutorials, because we did that entire tabletop and we have given it the full cure time. Next is the stress test on that paint. Sahara, Wheatfield, those are from the Inspired by Nature collection of Rethunk Junk paint products, and of course your soft white glaze. That is our Coffee and Create collection today. Now, I didn't want to overwhelm you with this huge list of products that we're going to use this month, because it's all about the beach. It's all about the ocean. We're right inland from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Everybody around here goes to Cherry Grove, North Myrtle Beach, Surfside, Garden City. You know what? It's that time of the year. School gets out this week, vacations ensue, and we need that inspiration even if we're not going to the beach. I'm not going this week, I promise. I'm gonna be right here working. We have so much happening, but we're going to work on this today. I'm going to go ahead and show you how amazingly simple it is to use Rethunk Junk paint on metal. Have you done it yet? Have you painted anything metal? Your outdoor furniture, your outdoor yard art. Have you painted anything metal? If you join us, make sure you pop on the comments. Let me know you're there. You know that our technology has been a little bit challenging lately. I have no control. I have no control over the insanity that is the Facebook or anything else. I have zero control. I am trying to make sure that we stay consistent so that you get amazing information so you can do great things with the products you have in your home or the little small decor pieces you pick up. Jamie, good morning. Thank you, hon. It's so good to see you. Thanks for being here. So I've already prepped this side. I already prepped the top. I actually even prepped the back. And I was working on this side and piddling with the paint right before I came on. Now, what do people normally do with file cabinets? They stick stuff to it. So it had sticky all over it, and it was just, it's just sticky. How do you get that off? People put tape. They just put tape on here and stickers, and you can see the residue, and it's a mess. So what do? Well, you grab your prep, you grab your scrubby pad, and if you need adult supervision, get it, but you grab a straight blade. I do because it's so much easier, so much easier. But I'm gonna spray this with Prep. I'm gonna spray right on top of that sticky mess. I have some more down here low. I'm gonna scooch this so you can see. It's just gonna run down the side, it's metal. So the challenge with the metal is a little bit crazier than doing a piece of wood, a wood furniture piece, for instance. This is really a slick surface. And that's okay. It'll still go on, but the problem is everything's gonna slide because it's metal. And it is very shiny and very slippery. So what we're gonna do to make it easier on ourselves is we're going to employ our Scotch-Brite pad. I didn't put this on the Coffee and Create collection, but you know we always have them here. One of the things you can do is you can take that sticky and you can Scotch-Brite it. What's gonna happen is your Scotch-Brite's gonna get gummed up, and then it's not gonna be any good for anything else. And I will use these until they are threadbare, then I throw them away. What's a little bit easier, saturate the sticky areas with your Prep, and then take your straight blade and scrape that sticky off. I find it easier. You might find the Scotch-Brite easier. That's hideous, isn't it? I'm sorry. Whatever process you find works best for you, is the one you should use. We all have ways that we do things when we're painting that work for us. If you're new, it's hard to know what that is. Jump right in there, girl. Use some of the tools. You don't have to have all of them to start. Find the ones that you absolutely love working with and start with those. Build your toolkit as you go, and then when you refine your skills, you'll have all the tools you need. In the meantime, your Scotch-Brite is your friend. Now, I made the sticky go away, but I made a little bit of a mess. So I'm gonna hit it one more time with the Prep. And I will always show you the Prep because Prep is not necessarily a one-time gig. If you Scotch-Brite something, or you sand something, or you scrape something with a straight blade, go ahead and Prep it one more time. You need to get the residue off. And if you've only prepped one time and you don't get that residue off, or the grit from the sanding, or the grit from the Scotch-Brite, that's gonna end up in your paint and you're not gonna have a really nice, smooth, pretty finish. So don't think one time is one and done. Use that Prep. That is like the most important tool that you have to work with. And of course, down at the bottom, it's just crusty because it's a tool cabinet. It's a file cabinet. And it just has some challenges. It's ugly to begin with. And I don't mean to judge, but it's just ugly. There we go. Let me wipe this back down real well. Now there's more than one reason why this is my project today. We'll talk about that as we go. Oh, there we go. Seaside. What a perfect way to kick off the June Coffee and Create collection. Look how beautiful that color is. You see it under the light? Absolutely amazing. Kind of a green blue. If you haven't used it, I'm going to turn the light on so you can see better. If you haven't used it, it is a wonderful product, wonderful color, great coverage. I'll show you because we're getting ready to go over a black file cabinet with a nice light greenish blue color. Let me step right up in front of you, and I want to bring you in a little bit, so I'm going to bring you into the other camera. There we go. Now, let me move my tool cart right in your way. I have my brush. I'm going to dip it in the water and then tamp some of the water off. Unlike working on wooden furniture, you don't need the water to move this on metal. Water's not going to be your friend here, so don't saturate your brush before you start. And just get started. Now, keep in mind, I'm painting metal. I need a good, simple, smooth base. I know I'm going to need 2 coats. I need to be okay with that from the beginning. Get okay with the process and then work the process. You're painting metal. Just let yourself agree that it's okay to do 2 coats on this. It's not that big a deal. You're not going to waste paint. You're not going to use too much. I have a pint, a 16-ounce of Seaside, and it already has a little bit out of it, but not much. So when we stop, and this is coated twice, I'll show you how much product we've actually used. And I would say to do this entire cabinet in 2 coats, we're probably only going to use 3 to 4 ounces of paint. We'll see. We'll see when we get done. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think a pint is going to be just enough with a lot left over. If we only use 3 or 4 ounces of paint out of this container, we're going to have 12 ounces left. We could do 2 file cabinets. Nice, smooth, even strokes all the way to the edge. Don't stop until your brush is completely off the side, because if you do, you'll have that little spot that you missed, and it'll always be there. Now, I should have gotten my knee pad, but we're going to be okay. If I can't get up off the ground, someone call for help. I think I can do this. I think I can get back up. I'm just teasing y'all. All right, there we go. And just like that, look how simple and easy and smooth that paint goes on that metal file cabinet. If you want to work with some of the colors and products from the Coffee and Create collection for June, start this weekend. I know, it's a holiday weekend. Are you really getting tangled up in that traffic? I'm not. I'm gonna be right here. And we're gonna have smalls on Saturday. If you're local, come on by. Reservations, so I know you're coming and I have your work area ready. Bring a small piece of furniture or home decor. Lamps are perfect for this. And I will teach you, we'll walk through prepping, painting, and we'll do a little bit of personalizing on it. We'll have a great time. We'll shop products and we'll talk about all of the fantastic things that are coming. And just like that, we have one complete side painted. just like that. And I was talking most of the time, so I probably could have gotten a whole lot more done if I hadn't been running my mouth. I'm gonna turn the fan up a little bit. We'll get that side dry. You can always throw a fan on your work. Rethunk Junk paint dries quickly. It dries even quicker when you throw the fan to it. And let's do it again. Now, because this is the back, this is where the metal is crimped. So you want to be careful not to get drips and runs right there. And you want to cover it. And I probably should go up and down to do this, but I like these short cross strokes like this. And if we were gonna do texture, I'd just put it on there and we'd cross hatch this sucker. But this one I want nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. Come down your edges so that you don't have anything dripping or running right where that crimp is, where they assemble these cabinets. These are steel, these are heavy. I almost tumped the whole thing over when I was loading it up here on the dolly. And I wanted it on the dolly so I could roll it around easier. The drawers all came out. There's files in the top drawer. It was almost a tragedy. But tragedy was averted, and here we are with Seaside. One of the most beautiful colors of Rethunk Junk paint. Perfect for our See You by the Sea Coffee and Create collection for June. We'll kick it off on Saturday with smalls on Saturday. Sign up for it on our workshop tab on the website. I'm going to kick the bottom. I'm going to do this edge. There we go. All right. Make sure there's no drips, no runs. We don't want any ridge edges there. All right. There we go. Just like that. We're knocking this out, y'all. We might even get finished before the hour is up. Lisa, just use that with the oyster. Oh, I'll bet that's absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to see a picture. Will you share it on our page when you get done? And definitely make sure you share it on the Rethunk Junk Q&A. I think that's a great color combination. So rich, and they complement each other so well. Joe, good morning, my friend. Looking for you to move to South Carolina. Can't wait till my girlfriend is a little bit closer. I hope she's doing well. I hope you're doing well. Y'all, if you're not local to South Carolina and you happen to be in the Northeast, specifically Hyannisport, Massachusetts, I want you to stop in and see my friend Linda D'Antonio at Seaporium. If you're not local and you want some amazing inspiration, make sure you follow her page, Seaporium. She does some amazing work. I love watching her, and I love her. She carries a different brand of paint, but she is also an Iron Orchid Designs retailer. And we have something super coming up. Have you missed all the announcements? Have you been waiting? Yes. We can't wait for you to be in the Southland. If you have missed the announcements, I want you to make sure to be here with me on Wednesday. Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, we will kick off the 2023 Summer Iron Orchid Design Collection. All the new products Now the transfers are in transit, so we will not have those in our hands, but you can pre-order yours and we will make sure you get it as soon as it comes in. All right. Look how quickly this is going. And it did not hurt one bit to use that Scotch-Brite, but the prep took a lot of the slick off of this cabinet finish. And it is not like painting a piece of furniture. It is a different feel with your brush. Your paint moves differently. But, and here's the important part, you will get the same amazing coverage just like you do with your wooden furniture pieces. I'm hanging on to this file cabinet for dear life because I'm really close to the floor. And you'd think, as short as I am, that wouldn't scare me. Oh, there we go. And we will finish this up. Look how cool. I love this color, y'all. Seaside. Oh, this is gonna be a challenge, isn't it? Not really, we can get this done. We can get this done. I'm gonna hit this top real quick. Let's see if I can reach it without getting paint all over my shirt. There we go. I had to have it up on the roller dolly. I needed to be able to spin this thing around to paint it. There we go. Now I'll check my edge on the other side just as soon as I finish this. But when you're doing edges, side to side, top to bottom, whichever direction, make sure you check your edges so you don't have any paint dripping over the sides. Always check your ridges and edges. We don't have ridges really on this piece because it's solid, but we have edges, and paint will slide right off your brush, right over that edge, and it'll make a ridge line. You know, it'll have a big lump of paint right there, and then somebody's gonna take their fingernail and pick at it, and then your paint's gonna be ruined. If you'll be careful when you're painting and catch it to begin with, you won't have that ridge edge, and you won't have anybody picking your paint apart. And if your friends pick your paint apart, I'm gonna need you to get some new friends. These do come off. I'm not gonna do it. Are you gonna do it? I'm not. I'm not gonna bother to take those off. I'm not gonna change that hardware, although that I could, but I think I'm gonna leave them alone for right now. We might change them after we get started. And I'll explain that to you too. I'm just gonna go right straight down the line here. I want my edge first, my edge over here. You've just gotta find the way that this works for you. The way I do it might not be the way you wanna do it. It's okay. You can always find the way that works best for you, the way you're comfortable, and then just do it that way. But the most important part is make sure you're using your Rethunk Junk paint. All right, let's come up from the bottom. Hit that edge right there. Now we can just cover the drawers. I'm gonna paint the hardware, the handles, the whole nine. We can change those out later. That's not the most important part. The most important part of this is that you can paint metal with Rethunk Junk paint and make it stick. And make it stick. That's the most important part of this. A little bit around the edges there. Smooth it up underneath the handle in those betweens. I'm painting those handles too. We're just gonna paint it all in Seaside. First drawer done. We are fixing to be done with this and it's only 9:30. I could tackle something else. Probably not today, probably not today. We have a lot of exciting news coming up for you. But we're gonna start with Smalls on Saturday. That is super important. Now, if you wanted to paint your piece of furniture and you want to use the colors we're using, and you want more than just a painted piece of furniture, then come in on Saturday for Smalls on Saturday, and then get ready for our workshop design series. And in our workshop design series, you will come to Smalls on Saturday. You'll get started with the colors that we're using in June. And then, let's get that out of there. There we go. Then you'll come back 2 more times in June and finish up by working with the salt wash, the transfers, the stamps, the paint inlays, the molds, all the different products that we're going to use in our Coffee and Create collection, and you will have a designed piece of home decor or home furnishings when you finish your workshop series. Can't make it in June? That's okay. We offer this all year long. All you have to do is do it. Make your reservation online for Smalls on Saturday, this Saturday. If you can't make it Saturday, because some people work on Saturday, I work on Saturday. If you can't make it on Saturday, make a reservation for a different day and get started. If you need the guidance, want the fellowship, sign up for the design workshop series and make sure you bring something fabulous that needs to be made over beautiful. And we'll get you through it. Start to finish. Look at that. We're done. This cabinet is painted in 1 coat. Now, just like with wooden furniture, if you don't come back and open these drawers, your paint's gonna dry and they're gonna stick. They will stick. Let's hit the top edge and the sides so that we don't have paint drips and ridges, because they will live right there too. And just like that, our ugly black file cabinet has 1 full coat of Seaside. And because I started late, because I was piddling with paint, let's see, it's 9:38, and I talked a little bit too. You know what? It took us 30 minutes to do this. 30 minutes to do 1 coat of paint. I think my camera's a little bit crooked. Do y'all mind if I fix it? Because that's driving me crazy. There we go. Let's kick back over here, and while this is drying, because I have the fans on it, let's talk a little bit more about Iron Orchid Designs, because that's happening. I'm going to set my brush in the water because I don't want it to dry up, and I'm going to cap my paint because I don't want to knock it over, and I don't want that film to dry over the top of it. But let's talk for just a quick minute about this. Have you seen this? Wednesday, May 24th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. All you have to do is show up. Just show up. I will be here. I will be showing you all the fantastic new products. I have not played with them myself yet. I have not. I have had other projects that had to be worked on. And those are just going to have to wait, and we'll work with them together. But join me right here, 12 o'clock on Wednesday, and we will show you all the brand new Iron Orchid Designs products. Have you seen this one? Save! Our Memorial Day sale has already started. Buy one, get one 20% off all regularly priced Rethunk Junk paint products. Everything that's in stock, including our Coffee and Create collection, any of our sealers, glazes, any of the 45 colors. Don't forget those 7 metallics. You can get those as well. Buy one, get one, 20% off. You can get those online as well, and you will be able to save just the same. It's an automatic discount online. You'll have to make sure to remind us if you purchase in person, because it won't do it automatically. It just won't do it. Now, I am tickled to pieces that this is almost dry. If you're calling me, not open yet. Charlotte will be here shortly. It's 20 minutes till 10, and we will be open promptly at 10 a.m. or somewhere relatively close to that. I'm going to give this just an extra piece of dry time because it's metal. I've got a couple of spots that are still damp, and remember, if you need to test your paint for dryness, don't use your fingertips. Use the back of your hand. Why? If you use the back of your hand and it's not dry, you will not leave your fingerprints in it. If you touch it with your fingers, you're going to leave fingerprints in it, and then you're going to have to cover that up, and it's a whole mess. This, just gently touch. It's still a little tacky. So our dry time is a little bit longer on metal. Why? The temperature of the metal makes a difference. It's nice and warm today. It's not humid at all, but I've had a fan on this the whole time. And anytime you have cooler temperatures, it's going to take just a little bit longer for your Rethunk Junk paint to dry. Now, because it's metal and I have the fan on, the metal is very cool. So the ambient temperature in the building might not be cold. It might not even be cool because it's actually a little warm in here. But the temperature of my surface is cool. I see a drip. It's going to drive me crazy. My surface temperature is cool. Wood has a tendency to be a little bit warmer. Metal has a tendency to be a little bit cooler. So it is going to take just a little bit longer for this to dry. So let's do the proper thing here, and let's put 2 fans on it. Let's crank this one up on high. Oh yeah, that little fan right there does an amazing job. You crank that thing up on high and it's gonna put something on dry mode. And let's talk for just a few minutes about this design workshop series. What does that actually mean? We're gonna paint this. You can do that at Smalls on Saturday. Bring your piece, not a file cabinet, but bring your piece and we'll prep it. I'll show you how. I'll show you how to do it the right way. I'll show you how to get in all the nooks and crannies. I'll show you how to use a Scotch-Brite when you really need to. Good morning, Alice. I'm so glad you could be here. But that's the prep. Then I'll show you how to paint. Keep your lines nice and smooth and even. Cover it in 2 coats. That's the paint. And then we can personalize it. with a glaze, or if you just want to seal it, we can do that too. You want to use a wash? We can do that too. Prep, paint, and personalize. Those are the 3 steps to using Rethunk Junk paint products. Come to the Smalls on Saturday, bring your own piece, or come in the store and purchase one, and I'll show you how to walk through those 3 basic steps of using Rethunk Junk paint products. Now, if you really want to take it further than just this, sign up for our design workshop series. You will get your Smalls on Saturday workshop for 2 hours, and then you'll get 2 more 2-hour workshops throughout the month of June. We'll take your painted piece and we will show you how to carry it to the next level and embellish it with our products, our salt wash products, our Iron Orchid design products. If you want to stencil something, we have stencils available for you as well. But your design workshop series is designed so that you don't just walk away with a painted piece of furniture. If you want to jazz it up, then join us for the design workshop series. You'll take a total of 6 hours in an entire month's period, and you will dress your piece of furniture so that it's not just painted, but it's absolutely fabulous. That is right here at the studio at Two Girls Treasure, and we will kick that off beginning this Saturday, May 27th. If you have any questions, call us after 10 or come by the store and see us. We'll be glad to help you. We're dry. We're dry all over, and it's cold. It is, oh, look at that. Don't miss that either. That is our brand new weekly cleaner. This is your daily. These products are formulated for your painted surfaces with emphasis on your countertop and backsplash paint. I was reaching for a napkin and completely lost my mind. I'm going to squish as much of the water out of my paintbrush as I can because I don't want additional water in my paintbrush on this. It's dry, but we're on a vertical surface and we're on metal, so we don't want any more moisture than we have to have because we don't want this to run. We're doing smooth, even strokes of Seaside. We don't want to do a drip paint on this piece. Not today. Today we're just gonna paint. Simple, easy Seaside over a metal file cabinet. And we have a purpose for all the file cabinets that you will see being painted at Two Girls Treasure. You just give us a minute to get our ducks and geese all in the same rows, and we will have an amazing announcement for you, hopefully before the end of the month. We have a lot of movement to make first. But if you love to join us for tutorials, you're gonna love what we have coming next. Look how pretty that is with 2 coats of paint on it. You see the difference on that cut line right there? That's gonna be beautiful. All right, let me scooch this back so you can see all the way. How about that? Can you see it really good? Smooth, even strokes. No excess moisture on this is needed. Metal is so slick. And when you go over it, it just glides. Now, no one has asked me, so let's talk for a minute about rust. That's a real issue with metal. And there's a little bit around the bottom of this cabinet. So what do you do if you have rust? Well, the first thing you do is prep it. You want to see how bad it's going to be. I'm going to make sure those are straighter. There we go. You want to see how bad your rust is going to be. If your rust is really bad, you probably need to grab sandpaper that is made for metal. Not all sandpaper is made for metal. Most of the sandpaper you use is made for wood. Make sure you get the right sandpaper. And then you want to, after you prep it, you want to use your sander and just knock the surface off the rust. You don't want holes, so if you're dealing with something that has rust holes in it, that's a whole other level. If you're just dealing with surface rust, get your metal sandpaper that is designed for sanding metal pieces. Prep your piece, sand it, and then prep it again. You need to clean all that goo, all that crusty rust off your piece. Don't worry, you can prep all you want. You can never prep too much. There's no such thing. At some point you do have to stop and paint. But if you're dealing with rust, prep it, sand it, prep it again, good morning, and then paint it. Charlotte's got her hair down. Charlotte's probably fixing to pull her hair up. I see the scrunchie. But then once you have it good and clean, just go to painting it. Your paint will seal your metal and it will prevent further damage. Your Rethunk Junk paints on metal are rust inhibitive. What that means is it will prevent rusting once it has a good full coat on it, just like that. That looks so good. Who thought an ugly black file cabinet could look so stunning? And it's beautiful. And it will continue to look beautiful the further I go with it. We're gonna stop right there for this morning. Charlotte's in. It's 8 minutes till doors open. Somebody called and they really need something from Two Girls Treasure, so we want to make sure we get that taken care of. I'm going to put the rest of the paint on the other 3 sides and the top. I'm going to finish up the drawers and I'll show you the completed photographs for this later on. If you are coming to Smalls on Saturday, this Saturday, we will start at 9 a.m. sharp. Make your reservation online at twogirlstreasure.com and make sure you're here on time. Like and subscribe to our YouTube, like and subscribe or follow us on Facebook. Stay in touch with us, make sure those notifications are turned on. Join us Saturday, May 27th, 9 a.m. for Smalls on Saturday. Or you can join us for the beginning of your design workshop series. The Coffee and Create collection is available on our website. This month's feature is, let me show you one more time because this is so beautiful. See You by the Sea. We will feature all of the wonderful products that give you the feeling, the vibe of the ocean without actually being there. And we have a couple of more projects that we're gonna finish up that we started last month. If you were here and you saw the mixed metallics, oh, we're gonna use that cedar trunk for something really special. So don't miss out. Join us every Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time for Coffee and Create. And join us the last Saturday of the month, every month, for Smalls on Saturday. Thanks for being here this morning, y'all. I'm Diane Pruitt, We're here at Two Girls Treasure in Florence, South Carolina. Open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. and online anytime. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you again Wednesday at noon.